Hey guys, it's been a while. So I recently turned 19 and I thought it would be a great time to reflect, so here I go. The last time I posted it was the summer of 2020, and at that time I really thought I was at a peak in terms of self-growth and also development. I was exercising, meditating, doing all of these healthy things, and I thought to myself, where can I really go from this? Now, I would be a little witty and say, where can't I go? Because every decision I make slowly influences the person I'm going to be in the future. That's why it's always insane to think about yourself a year, 2 or 3 years ago and sit back and almost be shocked by how much you can change as a person. After that nice calm in the summer, it was time to get back to school. I surprisingly had a decent amount of free time, so I in theory could have been instantly productive. Training in the morning, playing for the Toronto Raptors during the day, and then coming back home to my beautiful wife, Elizabeth Olsen. But one thing stood in my way, and that was the fact that I'm an absolute fiend for video games. One game would turn into two, and before you know it, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're sitting there and you're like, what just happened? We have this running scenario in my friend group, and essentially we'll play a game, and let's say we lose, then we'll be like, guys, we can't end it on a loss, one more. And then if we win, we're all feeling good and we rightfully don't feel like hopping off. So I was stuck in this vicious cycle of school and video games. I didn't feel like stopping because I reasoned that I had earned that time to let loose. Essentially, I went from meditating and working out to completely cutting out all of that for several months. And you would think that all the self-improvement I had worked to establish would slowly decay. But that wasn't really the story. Admittedly, I noticed I became a bit more lethargic, waking up later in the day to counter the fact that I've been sleeping really late in the night. I think the reason why my improvement did not noticeably reverse is because I used to use activities like meditation and basketball to activate my ability to really think. And since I had already activated that ability, I didn't explicitly need to do those things consistently, even though it probably would have been better for me that I had done those things. When I say really think, I mean think critically. And don't think about like school, like math, word problems and stuff, but think critically in life. Being able to view situations from a third person perspective and starting to notice when you're acting irrationally or not really contemplating things. I didn't stop thinking after the summer. I still used it every day, exercised that part of my brain. A great example of this is in TV shows and movies I would watch. When I was younger, I would watch whatever was on the TV, and if you asked me maybe 15 minutes after watching something what had actually happened and what I thought about it, I would probably say, I don't really know, but that fight scene, sheesh, that was pretty badass. So yeah, growing up, I was always looking at my phone or playing video games. I was training myself to have a very short attention span and not really noticing the things around me. And that, I would argue, really robbed me of a lot of cool moments in the media I watched and just in real life. One positive aspect to come out of a situation that has the entire world shook right now, which is the pandemic, was that I was able to sit down or rewatch a lot of the shows and movies I'd watched as a kid and develop a different level of appreciation for them, or in some cases realize that some things were garbage. To expand on that, I watched a lot of movies when I was younger that were objectively bad in hindsight, and at the end they would have this upbeat song in the background and the main character would do some cliche touching thing like my boy, the main character, he would get the girl and they'd kiss or hug and something like that, and I would sit there and be like, whoa, that was amazing, and like T-minus 3 days I couldn't tell you anything about that movie. So the main message I wanted you guys to pull from these stories is that it's perfectly normal to go through ruts where you don't feel like doing anything other than playing video games or whatever time-consuming hobby you like to do. Sometimes we need to feel like we have control in situations where we feel powerless. But it's important at some point, which for me is the summer that I'm now on, to take the time to reassess how you're feeling and what you want to do, because people change. Ultimately, I learned a lot from last year, and don't be afraid to have a little fun, guys. Well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.